There was a beggar living at a city's railway station. He survived by asking for alms from the passengers traveling on trains. One day, while he was begging, he noticed a tall man in a suit. The beggar thought, "This man looks rich. If I ask him, he will surely give me good money." So he went up to the tall man and begged. Looking at him, the tall man said, "You're always asking, but do you ever give anything to anyone?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I am a beggar. I always ask from people. How could I ever have the capacity to give anything to others?" The tall man said, "If you cannot give anything, then you have no right to ask either. I am a businessman, and I believe only in transactions. If you have something to give me, then only will I give you something in return." Saying this, the tall man boarded the train and left. The beggar sat there thinking. The words of that tall man touched his heart. He thought, maybe that's why I don't receive much alms, because I give nothing in return. But I'm just a beggar. I have nothing to give. How long can I keep asking without ever giving? After a lot of thought, the beggar decided that from now on, whenever someone gave him alms, he too would give them something in return. But then another question arose in his mind. I am a beggar. What could I possibly give in return? For 2 days he kept thinking, but no answer came. On the third day, as he was sitting near the station, he noticed some flowers blooming around the plants there. He thought, why don't I give people flowers in return for alms? He liked this idea, so he plucked some flowers. When he went begging in the train, whoever gave him alms, he handed them some flowers in return. People happily accepted those flowers and kept them. Within a few days, he noticed that many more people were now giving him alms. He would pluck all the flowers near the station, and as long as he had flowers, people would give him money. But once his flowers ran out, people stopped giving him alms. This became a routine. One day, while begging, he saw the same tall man on the train, the one who had inspired him. Excitedly, the beggar went up to him and said, "Today I have some flowers to give you. If you give me alms, I will give you flowers in return." The tall man smiled, gave him some money, and received the flowers. He said, "Wonderful. Today you too have become a businessman like me." The beggar was overjoyed. His eyes sparkled. He looked up to the sky and shouted loudly, "I am not a beggar. I am a businessman. I too can become rich." People around thought he had gone mad. But from the next day, the beggar was never seen at that station again. 6 months later, at the same station, 2 men in suits were traveling. They recognized each other, shook hands, and one said, "Do you remember me?" The other replied, "No, I don't think we've met before." The first man smiled and said, "No, this is our third meeting." Surprised, the second asked, "When were the first two?" The first man said, "Our first meeting was on this very train, when you told me what I should do in life. The second time was again on this train, when you told me that I was a businessman. I am that same beggar." The second man was astonished and said, "Oh yes, I remember you were the beggar I once refused to give alms, and later I bought flowers from you. But today, here you are in a suit. Where are you going, and what do you do now?" The first man replied, "Yes, I was that beggar, but today I am a successful flower merchant. I'm going to another city for my business." Then he added, "The first time you met me, you taught me the law of life that one only receives when one gives. The rule of give and take truly works. I adopted it, and it changed my life. The second time you told me that I was not a beggar anymore, but a trader. That changed my mindset. People were not giving me alms, they were paying for the flowers I gave. They were buying from me. To them, I was a small businessman, but in my own eyes, I still saw myself as a beggar. Your words made me realize I was a trader. I used the money I earned to buy more flowers, and slowly I built a large flower business." Both businessmen were happy. When the train reached the station, they got down and walked ahead together, talking about business. Moral of the story: This story teaches us that success lies in our mindset. If we keep seeing ourselves as small, we will remain small. But if we change our thinking and see ourselves as capable, we can transform our lives. The law of give and take is a universal truth. Without giving, there is no receiving.